Tonight was an example of why sports are so freaking unpredictable. I wasn't even planning on doing a Retro Reacts night. Saturday night, a little bit of a slow night in the sports world. Shout out to our Tampa Bay Rowdies coming away with the 2-0 victory. I was going to try to get in on something, maybe talk a little rowdy soccer, but I was inspired by what happened tonight at Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles as the Rays come back to beat the Dodgers 9-8 in extra innings. I was inspired by their effort, and I was inspired by one young man going by the name of Junior Caminero. We're going to break it all down here momentarily, but I want to hear from you. Leave your questions, comments, concerns over on YouTube if you're not there already. I am Jay Recher, and this is Recher Reacts. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, uh, Instagram, Twitter. Like, I'm everywhere, man. We're live pretty much every night. Definitely going to be on tomorrow night after AEW's big time pay per view, All In Wembley. So break that all down. But it's big time Rays tonight. Like and subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube. Appreciate everybody for getting in. You see, got my new Rowdies scarf there. 2-0 victory. Shout out to my Rowdies. So good night for teams that are owned by Stu Sternberg as the Rowdies win 2-0 over Miami FC, and then the Rays with a thrilling 9-8 victory over the Dodgers in LA. The Rays are a funny team, aren't they? Like, you watch them all year long, and they've been magnetized to that 500 record. 2 games over, 2 games below. Like, they can never go one way or the other. And it's been such an up and down year. It's been such a topsy turvy roller coaster type season. But one thing that you cannot fault this team is you can't fault their effort. uh, you look at the way that they've been able to kind of put these wins together, even if they're just one at a time. They've had some thrilling victories this year, some crazy come from behind type wins. You go and you sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks a couple weeks ago at home. Like, it's never a dull moment with these Rays. Just when you think they're dead in the water, it's over, season's over. I was actually thinking about that tonight as the LA Dodgers took a 7-5 lead after the Rays scored four in the first off of future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw. I'm thinking to myself, all right, get the eulogies ready. They split 4 games in Oakland against the lowly Athletics. They lose the first game last night in dramatic fashion as Shohei Ohtani hits a walk-off against Colin Poche. And then tonight looked like the same old script, and a great job right now on Bally Sports. I was just watching Rich Hollenberg and Brian Anderson. What a duo there. Shout out to Andy Freed filling in for Dwayne Stats, not traveling. So it was Andy Freed and Brian Anderson. And then my guys, Chris Adams Wall, Neil Solon's on the radio side. Job well done by everybody involved. And great to see Rich out there too. And to hear Rich and BA during the post game, that was really, really good stuff. I love all our Rays guys. They do such a phenomenal job covering this team. But to listen to those guys say that it looked eerily similar to the script that we saw last night for the Rays when they lost to the Dodgers in dramatic fashion, it looked like we were heading down that path once again. But au contraire, mon frere, the Rays do not subscribe to same bat time, same bat channel. They just don't do that. That is not the 2024 Tampa Bay Rays. By hook or by crook, for better or for worse, you can't ever put your finger on the pulse on whatever the hell this team is doing. They will not let the narrative be written about them this season. They're going to finish 82-80 or 81-81. Like, they're hovering around 500. And just when you think they're about to go 3 or 4 games under, they win 2 or 3. Just when you think they're about to go 5 or 6 over, they lose 2 or 3. It's just never a dull moment. And they've obviously dealt with a lot of different things this season, whether it's injuries or trades or guys that aren't here anymore that used to be here. But Kevin Cash has done, and I said this probably last week here on Retro Reacts. I think this is one of the best jobs that Kevin Cash has done as the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. And I think I was misquoted on the air probably yesterday, whether it was me or Zach, and I think somebody brought it to the attention of like, oh, those guys wanted Kevin Cash to be fired. That couldn't be farther from the truth. And if I had something to say like that, I would say it and I would back it up multiple times. But you have never, nor will you probably ever hear me call for somebody to be fired or for them to lose their job. I'll point out that a person is struggling and that maybe the team should look into possibly making a move, but I'll never go on the air and say this person should be fired, this person should be DFA'd. That's not my style. That's not my style. And I had a couple people, or one person, two people actually say it to me tonight. Oh, somebody on your show said Kevin Cash should be fired. I don't, pretty sure Zach didn't say it. And I know sure as hell I didn't say it because I've been lauding the job that Kevin Cash has been doing this year with this kind of herky jerky type season that the Buccaneers, excuse me, I've football in the mind. The Rays have had the ups and downs, and a lot of other teams, it would have went off the rails by now, and it would have been just absolute carnage. 10 games under 500, people would have been just quitting on this team and just looking towards 2025. And I know with some of the moves that they made, trading guys like Randy Rosarena and Isak Paredes, that is with a concerted effort of looking ahead and seeing what you have in some of these guys. But that message did not go across to some of these other players that are still here. Jose Caballero with the big 2-run home run in the 10th inning. That was a beautiful thing to see. That guy has just been, you saw some struggles obviously in the field, and that was my one, hesitation about him joining up with the Rays. But I think Jose Caballero is a winner, and I think if he's your second baseman or if he's your super utility guy, I think you can win with him. I love his attitude. I love what he brings to the table. I love that he steals bases and he's not afraid if he gets thrown out to steal another two. And if you hang him like Joe Kelly did in the 10th inning tonight, he's going to bang him. Big home run there. Big home run for Jose Caballero. And when you're playing a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, you have to bring your A game, and you can never ever sleep and never ever rest on your laurels because you know who they have in that lineup, and it's not just that three-headed monsters of future first ballot Hall of Famers and Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani, like the Max Muncies of the world, the Tommy Edmonds of the world, the Teoscar Hernandez of the world, Will Smith. Like they could beat you in a multitude of ways. Gavin Lux has been phenomenal since the All Star break. So you can't rest on your laurels one bit because they can get back in the game in an instant. You saw it again tonight. Again, they were down 4-0 in the first. They come back to take a 7-5 lead. But as all good teams do, and you saw this today in the college football game in Dublin, the best teams out there, uh, they could get punched in the face, but they react in kind and they counterpunch. And you may not have as much talent as another team, or you may not end up being the last team standing. You may not win the championship, but that resolve, that mettle that you show during those tough times, I think goes a long way. At the end of the day, you may not be a champion, but gosh darn it, you are definitely a winner. And that's what you saw from Georgia Tech today. They get punched right in the mouth by Florida State, and then they came right back and answered, made it 8-7, and Florida State never really recovered. I know they scored more, and Georgia Tech ended up winning just on the field goal, but they were a 10.5 point favorite, Florida State. But I really appreciate what I saw in that football game today. It's great that college football is back. But the Rays displayed some of that same type of, oh, okay, we're gonna punch, you're gonna punch back, and we're gonna, we're staying in the fight here. They did what Florida State could not do, and that they they answered the answer with another answer, and that is why I was so inspired to hop on here with you guys tonight on Recher Reacts, and as we're into the wee hours of Saturday night. Now it's Sunday morning. Questions, comments, concerns, guys, feel free to leave them there. And if you're watching on Twitter or you're watching on Facebook, head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/at JRecher10. That's JAYRECHER 10 as we talk about the Rays' thrilling 9-8 comeback win over the Dodgers in extra innings. And the real reason why I was so inspired to talk about this game is because of what happened in the in the top of the ninth inning. And listen, it's one thing to see a kid have all the tools in the world and be results driven. Look how fast he throws, look how fast he runs, look how hard he hits the ball, look how far he hits the ball. Stink, mink, blink, T crank. What's up, buddy? Love you, Tag. I know Tag, my guy Tag's a big Gator fan. I know he was 11. The Florida State lost today, like most Gators nationwide. But here's what I love about Junior Caminero, and this is why he's an absolute star in the making. I'm going to take you back to yesterday. All right. So, yesterday, he's going up against Bobby Miller, a guy that's throwing in the upper 90s. He's touching 100. And if you paid attention to what I said on Friday on Jay and Zach, I said that Junior Caminero has a beautiful swing, nice high finish. The guy's got just incredible bat speed, but he's pulling off the baseball. He's topping the ball. He's hitting a lot of kind of just slow rollers to the left side of the infield. And I said to Zach, when Junior Caminero stays to the middle of the field and starts driving it out to right center, the same type of mindset that I bring up when Brandon Lau is struggling and pulling off the baseball. That was the one thing that I was looking for Junior Caminero. And I didn't necessarily think or know that it was going to happen this week in LA against the Dodgers. But you look at the first two at bats yesterday against Bobby Miller in that game against the Dodgers, and that is the maturation of Junior Caminero at 21 years young. What does he do in the first inning? A pitch that was what 99, it was 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. And he hits it 109 miles. I'm looking at it right now. I can't play it for you on video because I played a video on StreamYard, my first ever StreamYard. And yeah, that video got taken off of YouTube. And we're definitely not going to do that again. So Caminero takes a fastball 100 miles an hour. And I'm talking a fastball on a 1-2 count, elevated up in the zone, out over the plate. And what does he do? He doesn't try to do too much. He takes that elevated fastball out of the zone, 100 miles an hour on a 1-2 count, and drives it over the right center field fence. Drives it over the right center field fence for his first career home run. Gives the Rays a 1-0 lead, and that had to have a lot of people go, "Oh man, that kid is special." But what happens after that? How does he adjust in the next at bat? So what does he do? He comes up in the next at bat, facing Miller again. He knows he has that big fastball. Miller hangs a curveball up in the zone. Does Junior Caminero pull off the ball? No. He drives it into right center field for a double. Those are the type of things that you want to see if you're a coach, if you're a front office member, if you're a Rays fan. You want to see that this guy is getting better day by day, at bat by at bat. What kind of adjustments can he make? It's all about pitch recognition and timing and making those adjustments. Hell, you can't even you want to make them, month to month. You want to make them week to week. You want to make them day to day or game to game. But you got to make them pitch to pitch, right? It's like it's that quickly. And for this young man in yesterday's game to go two for his first two on an elevated fastball at 100 miles an hour, hit it for a home run, and then not be out on that front foot, let the ball travel, and smack a curveball in the right center field for a double. That excited the hell out of me, and I know a lot of Rays fans agree. So today, you look forward to today. What is going to happen with Junior Caminero? How is he going to follow up that performance that he had in the Rays' unfortunate loss? Well, how about 3 for 5? How about 3 for 5 with a home run in the ninth inning? And here's what impressed me about Junior Caminero in tonight's game. Yes, it was great that he went 3 for 5, okay, and that he drove in 2 runs. And he hits this solo home run in the ninth inning. But here's what stands out. Caminero was up there against the Dodgers closer. And, he's had a heck of a year. Was Evan Phillips, right? This guy throws cheese. He's got 16 saves on the season, a whip of 1.2, ERA of 3.46. And this guy's throwing hard. He's throwing gas. And you're just wondering, all right, what is going to happen? Who is going to be able to step up? Who's going to come up with that big hit? And when you see in the top of the ninth that Junior Caminero is the guy that's going to step to the plate first, your mind does wander a little bit. Is he going to come up big in this big situation? Is he going to be the guy that is going to tie this game up? Well, you look at what Junior Caminero was able to do, and he did exactly that. When you step to the plate like Junior Caminero did, you can overthink it, you can overswing. That's not what he did. And here's one of the most impressive things that I saw Junior do in that at bat. 3-1 count, a pitch clearly off the plate, and he was already walking the first base. Umpire calls it a strike. He's got to get back in the box. Now, some people could be embarrassed in that situation. Some people could be mentally screwed up and to the point of, I can't believe he made that bad call. And it just throws them off for the rest of the at bat. They're done. That is not what Junior Caminero did. He locked back in and then he took a 96-mile-an-hour heater and smoked it over the fence in center field. And just listen to these numbers. On that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, he hit it 107.8 miles an hour, 418 feet. It was a no doubter. And that was just it's something that made you get out of bed. Like, honestly, I was about to go to sleep. I took my contacts out. I was done for the night. And that young man smoked that 96-mile-an-hour heater over the center field fence. And Tommy Edman gave just kind of like a half-ass effort to go after the ball. It was more courtesy to Phillips more than anything. But that ball was absolutely tattooed. And the way that he was able to stay composed in that moment after a terrible call on that 3-1 pitch just shows that this kid is wise beyond his years. There's a maturation when he's at the plate that is very exciting. You want to talk about a guy that is special or has the chance to be special, as we've heard from a lot of people in the Rays organization. There was a couple examples in the last 2 days with this kid at the plate. And when you go to a place like LA, the second biggest market in this country, and you're playing against Shohei Ohtani, who did what he did last night. You have Mookie Betts. You have Freddie Freeman. Hell, Clayton Kershaw was on the mound tonight, future first ballot Hall of Famer. The lights are about as bright there in LA as anywhere in the country. And Hollywood is right around the block. And LA right there, that's where stars are made. And that's why I say Junior Caminero is an absolute star in the making. When the lights shine as bright as they have the last 2 nights, certain players shrivel up. Certain people shy away from the spotlight. Not Junior. Not Junior Caminero at all. He has risen. He is a guy that has stepped to the forefront, and he has proved that he is a guy to keep an eye on for the rest of this year in 2024 and beyond. Now, does that mean he's going to like lead the league in hitting for the next couple of weeks? No, doesn't mean that. There's going to be more growing pains. He's 21 years old. But you're looking for certain things in 2024 from Junior Caminero. That's why they brought him up. Go through your struggles, have your issues at the plate, have your issues in the field. It's going to happen. But he's your everyday third baseman from here on out. And you saw the potential, you saw the capability that that young man has over the last 2 nights. And if you're a Rays fan, how do you not think that that kid is the sky's the limit? He could go down as one of the best power hitters that this Rays team has ever seen. And again, I know he's 21. I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. But when you watch him, you think back to what all these people in the Rays organization, when you watch him, you think back to what all these people in the Rays organization have been saying for the last couple of years. That kid has a chance to be special. And the great thing about it is that he's already done some special things with the Rays, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. All right, shout out to the Rowdies. Big 2-0 win over Miami FC. That was a great way to start off the night. Bringing in Ryan Spalding on that left wing back is that dude. He's just made such a difference. Damian Rivera put into the starting lineup tonight. You're welcome, guys. That was my suggestion just a couple of nights ago. So really, really good stuff from the teams that Stu Sternberg owns. Let's make sure that I touch on a little bit of everything again. All in tomorrow night, AEW. So I will be live on Recher Reacts, talking about all things AEW tomorrow night. Yeah, and shout out to Florida, Lake Mary. They win the U.S. title. They're facing Taiwan in the Little League World Series final tomorrow. So congratulations to those youngsters. They got to get back to school when they get back here to the Sunshine States. Um, Again, shout out to Georgia Tech, big 24-21 victory over Florida State. Shout out to Jeff Attinella and his lovely wife Kendall, and every single Knoll fan out there that made the trip to Dublin to see that. Hopefully, you guys have some great memories of the trip because that is a heartbreaking loss, and it'll be interesting to see where DJU and Mike Norvell and that entire Florida State Seminoles team goes from here. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Retro Reacts. This little 20-minute tidbit I had to get on. Junior Caminero on the Rays inspired the hell out of me because of that comeback victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're back in action tomorrow for the final game of that three-game set. And, of course, you're going to be able to hear that on the home of Rays Baseball, 95.3 WDAE and AM at 620. Pre-game show starts at 3:30 with Chris Adams Wall with the first pitch at 4:10. So, yeah, tune on over to DAE and see if the Rays could stay above 500 because they're 65-64 through 129 games. Tag, love you. Appreciate everybody else for tuning in. Again, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Recher Reacts. Peace out.